Are you using Canvas apps, Power BI, Power Pages, or Code apps? Because there may be another app that can do all of that, and you may not have tried it because it's not part of Microsoft. It's called Lovable, and the apps it makes are not just faster, they look gorgeous. But if this tool is so cool and can do things that these tools can't, why isn't Microsoft just buying it or integrating with it? Oh, you just wait. And what does this mean for all these other tools? Let's start with the problem. Canvas apps is low-code friendly, but limited. Code apps are not as friendly for low-coders. Then we have Power BI, which does have a learning curve and is separate licensing. Now, all three of them have the big limitation that you can only use them in your business. They can't be a website. They can't be external. You have to buy licenses for every person in your business. So what's the solution? Power Pages. The biggest problem is you have to be a pro coder to build anything of value with it. But can tools like GitHub Copilot help the average user with all three of these? But are they as user-friendly and as fast as Lovable? Well, let's check out what Lovable can do. I need a website where customers can book these outdoor activities without having to call us. Let's go try to build that with Lovable. When you first log into Lovable, you tell it what kind of app you want it to make. So I need to make a website to book reservations. Enter. My data lives in Dataverse. And it told me that I need to get a Dataverse environment URL, tenant ID, app registration, client secret. If you've made a service principal, same thing. So I'm going to pop into my URL here and get the URL for the org. And I've already made a service principal app registration. So I'm going to snag all the info from here I need. It gave me the places to actually copy and paste these values. So let me go in here and paste my client ID and my client secret from earlier. Hit submit. So before we build a full-blown booking system, I want to see what it does here. All right, it's thinking. Takes a few seconds, and then what it should give me is a basic boilerplate app. All right, it's calling the Dataverse function. So what's happening is the background is with that service principal, it now has access to my Dataverse, and it can query records, create tables. It can do anything. Now here's the first app that it made me, and it's pretty cool. It's just a black themed display of all my instructors and certificates. So I can sort by last name. I can sort by gender. I could choose the certificate. So boom, filter there. Did you notice how fast and responsive it is? All right, let's check out the outdoor activities button. So I'm going to scroll over here, open that. And okay, it's loading my outdoor activities. Here they are. Let me make this bigger. So here are my outdoor activities in Lovable. Let's go back to my Power App and see what the outdoor activities look like over there. So back in Power Apps, for hiking, it is taught by Elise or Ellie. Let's see this side by side. So now I'm going to take one of the instructors and I'm going to change it and we're going to see if it updates. So instead of Matt, let's say it's taught by Katerina. It auto-saved for me. And then over here, I'm going to refresh it and we'll see that once we refresh it, boom. Now camping is taught by Katerina. So in Lovable, it worked just like that. Now the app overall that it made, click on browse activities. It gives me all of these activities and they look gorgeous. When I click reserve, it gives me this reserve option, but I don't have a reservations table. So what's it doing right now? So I asked Lovable, where do the reservations go? Because I don't have this table. And it said, right now, nowhere. This is just for a UI demo. It wants me to go make it. So sure, go ahead and make that table outdoor activity reservation. I'm going to spell it out for it. And we'll see how good it is at this. But use the prefix underscore and make sure it lives in this solution. And I pasted a solution ID. So I'm going to hit enter. We'll see what happens. So now it should be going to the Dataverse web API. I'm going to scroll up here and apparently it finished. Very nice. It did it. The tables are right there and it put it into the right solution. Very well done, Lovable. But I'm curious, where did these images come from? Because I didn't ask for that. So I'm going to say, where did the images come from? Let's press enter. Those images were AI generated. It saved the images locally. I don't want that. So instead, I'm going to say create a pic Lovable column, it's a string. It's just for storing the images. And I'm going to tell it to go find random images on the internet and go save the URL to this column. Now it's populating. Okay, the UI is changing. Let's see the result. If we refresh, looks good so far. And then I can come over here and there are those images. They match a lot better now. Okay, that looks pretty sick. Let's try reserving an activity. I guess scuba diving. No. All right. Let's do rock climbing. All right. I'm going to put in my name here. Let's put in an email. Okay. And then for preferred date, I don't like that I have to type that. Wait a second. Let's ask Lovable to just change this because it's ugly. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to type in change up the preferred date. So it's a calendar picker. Let's see that happen. It finished. Let's go back here. I'm going to reserve again and boom, calendar picker. And then I'm going to say that there are 4 guests. Let's confirm the reservation. And then after, let's make sure this got to Dataverse. It also gave me a reservation confirm message, which is nice. Back inside of Power Apps, I'm refreshing it. And there it is. Chuck Berry rock climbing, his email. It all got saved to Power Apps. So I have this gorgeous website where I can browse activities. I can reserve them. It looks super professional. It also is pulling in all of my instructors with their data all right here. Like that is very fast and gorgeous. But one question, all of this is using the Dataverse Web API. Can it use the Dataverse MCP server and do a little more? I wish I knew someone at Lovable that could help me out with this. Well, lucky for me, I'm literally speaking to an employee at Lovable right now. His name is Olaf. Olaf, can you tell me who you are and what have you built?
Yeah, so I'm Olaf Edin, working for Lovable in the go-to-market team. And work quite a lot with large partners. And I work quite a lot with the product development team of Microsoft. And Lovable has an open API where you can connect to any MCP server. So we have then connected that to the Dataverse MCP server. When I got my hands on Lovable, the easiest thing to build was CRMs. I think I built maybe 10, 15 different CRM systems for different business with the help of Lovable. And I just built my own yellow GUI, yellow and black is the colors. So here I just built in some slides in the presentation that we did here. But if you go to accounts here, now we will call Dataverse, and there's just a few accounts here. And then you have the contacts and so on as well, the normal entities basically that you have. I added this planning functionality here. Where I just prompted the agent to add a Gantt chart to see who was on which projects, and it just came up with this. And I could go and add whatever I want here. But I think, the MCP is great for building to get the context of what the underlying system can do. But then for runtime, APIs are often more efficient.
If you can close us out on this, you're at a company that is on the forefront of AI technology, coming from your roots where you used to write the code yourself. So, what skills would you say have stuck around?
Well, I think I would like to go back to my old university professor there at Chalmers University where I studied, and he got the question, and he said, it doesn't really matter, just as long as it's really hard and difficult. And it's the same thing. The thing that remains and is constant, it's the problem solving and having the unique ideas. So let's say the bottleneck will no longer be the actual production of the code. It will be the knowledge and having the unique ideas that you can feed into. And that's actually democratization, because then from countries with less resources or from families with less resources, those people will also have a more equal chance actually to do great things.